This is Daniel Ricciardo, and this is 365 Days of Sport.
365 Days of Sport.
Okay, it's a great pleasure for us to have Daniel Ricciardo, a 4-part 1-hour series on stamp collecting with Dan. Dan, how's it all going?
It's good. I've been collecting since I was basically still a fetus.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, it's gone well. I've got over 12 stamps now.
Oh, that's tremendous. That's nearly one every 2 years.
It's going well.
Well, as you know, it's a dying breed now. No, yeah, everything's email.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's a massive investment. So that's where I make a lot of my coin.
Of course, I think so.
Yeah.
Now, on a lighter note, we just had the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix yesterday. You rolled in 6th.
Yep.
You were in a 4-way battle for a lot of the race. It was quite exciting from our point of view. Was it? Did you get a feel for the excitement with cars all around you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the first part of the race for me was more exciting. I seemed to be a bit more in a battle, and then as the race went on, I was in battles, but they were a bit more sort of distant battles.
Yeah.
I think my teammate was in a pretty good one with Massa and a few of the guys in the group behind. So it was fun. I love battles. I mean, I wish the race was closer again, but yeah, I think for the fans it probably wasn't the best, but wasn't the worst.
If you had a stereo in the car, what would be blasting out as you're going around the track?
I love music. Like literally, it's my life, and my taste in music is pretty spread these days. So I mean, if I was really getting pumped up, probably some like Australian hardcore sort of stuff, bit of Parkway Drive or Amity Affliction, a few of my favourites.
Nice, Butterfly Effect, that type of stuff.
Yeah. That can work.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, so that would be probably the first choice.
Yep. Now I've got to ask you about the Honey Badger moniker. Now there's another kind of famous Western Australian that also goes by the name Honey Badger, Nick Cummins.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him?
No.
That's not what he tells us. Is there a bit of a rivalry? Is there going to be a Honey Badger Badger off?
I fear he will win that rivalry. if we have anything physically related to battle the naming rights, then
he might be a bit quicker than you on feet, but not in a car.
I think my best chance is probably clipping him with my car, but otherwise anything swinging related he would or tackling related he's going to win it. So it's a mutual respect for the name.
I like that. Yes, definitely. Now obviously at the end of the season yesterday, come 8th in the World Championship this season. Obviously
pretty rubbish.
Well, not as good as last year, obviously, coming 3rd.
Yeah.
So, obviously, with the season ending, you get a couple of months off, or is there a bit more work to do and then a bit of time off?
Yeah, it's. I wish it was like races over, that's it, holidays, but we still get probably 2 weeks of post-season work. So actually tests tomorrow. We're still at the track in Abu Dhabi doing a tyre test with Pirelli.
Oh, okay.
And then back to Europe, simulator, a few days of simulator.
Yep.
And then a few like Christmas parties, end of year awards, that sort of stuff. And then home for Christmas.
Yeah, of course. And Abu Dhabi was actually kind of where you made your name a little bit with the young driver test.
Yeah.
2010, 2011?
Yeah, good memory. 2010 I think it was. So you know more than me.
Yeah. A bit of a blur too. It's just,
it's gone quick. But yeah, that was where that was my, I think, second test in F1 and where I, started to show some really good speed. So I think by that stage Red Bull knew I was, a good up-and-coming driver for them in the future.
And you started way back, did you start in karts?
In karts, 9 years old. And just basically loved speed. I loved the sport because it was different. Yeah. Everyone was playing footy, soccer, all that. And I was quite small and skinny as well as a kid, so I probably wasn't built for Aussie rules. Yeah. And, or at least probably mentally not built for it. So I liked individual sports. I like sort of being a little bit left of field.
Now, you're from a Sicilian family. Should I be worried?
No. If Dad was around.
Oh, okay.
But to be honest, he's probably set up someone in the buildings there with a sniper, but you'll be sweet.
Okay.
You're right.
Just aim right. So, with that background, did you have a motorsport background? Like, was the family around motorsports, or was it just something you wanted to do?
Dad raced a bit, when he was younger, so for fun. And I mean, I think he would have loved to have taken it more seriously, but he obviously didn't really have the funding or the support to do much more with it. But the passion, I guess, came through him. Yep. He loves motorsport. He loves cars, probably more than me.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, he never forced me to do it. It was always my choice. But I guess through the blood or whatever, I got a love for it.
We were actually at a go-kart, the last round of the Australian titles in Geelong a couple of weeks ago, and there's a whole new range of Ricciardo karts.
Yes. Yeah. You're on it. You're on it. So yeah, that was a bit of a project I started. Yeah, this year's the first full year of it, and yeah, a mate of mine back home who helped me out, you know, when I was racing as a kid. Basically, just came up and said, I think it'd be really cool, good opportunity for you, and you know, it also gives something back to the sport and try and get some young kids come up through the program.
Definitely. No, it's admirable that you can put your name to that, and
it's quite nice seeing your name on a car.
Yeah, beautiful.
I won't lie.
And it's well, it also gives, you know, people to aspire, you know, someone and some pathway to aspire to actually get into. You've proved that you can get into Formula One from karts, whatever background you are. Yeah,
exactly. So it's I think that's a good thing about, you know, doing it from Australia. A lot of it is so far away to Europe, and Formula One seems like so far away, but obviously I saw Webber do it, and now I've done it, so hopefully the next generation can do it.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Mark Webber, he's a massive speedway fan. What other sports are you following outside of racing?
I mean, so I love pretty much all forms of motorsport. Probably my favourite form of motorsport is or to watch, at least one I get most excited for, is Supercross. Oh yeah. So the like all the AMA, the American stuff. Yeah, sure. So, I mean, Chad Reed, an Aussie, he's been doing it for years.
Yeah, of course.
Made a big name for himself over there. So yeah, a bit of a fan of Chad and that sport.
Did you get on the bike yourself? Did they let you?
So I do a little bit. So Mum was always steering clear of two wheels for me. She was like, nah, you're never having a dirt bike, blah, blah, blah. But now that I'm mid-20s, I can sort of, in a way, do what I want. Yeah. So yeah, the last sort of 18 months, I've gotten two wheels a bit more often.
Beautiful.
And I'm learning.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a big UFC fan.
Oh, yes,
UFC
of course.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a pity you missed Melbourne a couple of weeks ago.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
And I wanted to get to the Vegas fight in a few weeks with Aldo and McGregor.
Yes,
I'm a big fan of McGregor.
Yeah.
But I've got an event in Perth.
Oh, that's a shame.
Which, it's.
Oh well, you can't have more.
Yeah, I know.
I think Mr. McGregor will be around for a little while. I know it's a huge fight, that McGregor Aldo fight, but just like Rhonda Rousey and Holm last week or a couple of weeks ago. So, does Rhonda ring you up every now and again, checking your progress?
To be honest, she just calls me. She does call me, but it's more just to give me a hard time.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
So she's training 8 days a week. I'm only training 7 days a week.
Crazy woman.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I mean, that's the price to pay when you got a girlfriend like Rhonda. It's tough.
You know, she wants to move into acting, and you know, it's just ridiculous. I don't know how you do it.
Oh well, I don't know either.
Yeah,
it's sort of an open relationship, I guess. So it makes it a bit easier.
Yeah. Well, when you stay in hotels like this, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Talking of trips, races on the circuit, what is your favourite? Apart from Melbourne, obviously.
In terms of like the whole weekend as a whole, Austin. I love Austin. I don't know what it is.
Yeah?
I do know what it is.
Is it called 6th Street?
Yeah, there's so many different little. I mean, 6th Street is you know, more touristy, but there's not a whole lot of tourists anyway. It's like you get a lot of locals there.
It's all college kids. Yeah.
So Austin's awesome. I love music, so literally every night of the week you can go find something to do.
Yeah.
People are super friendly. The track's good fun.
Yeah.
So I've always had a bit of a soft spot for America, to be honest.
Yeah. No,
Austin's the one.
Yeah,
for me.
strange enough, because I went to university in Texas, so I kind of I do know the scene. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm envious.
Yeah.
So you know Austin very well.
Quite well, yeah, definitely, and a bit more Dallas. So I was a bit up north in University of North Texas. So, but I know exactly what you're talking about, the college scene and the music scene and everything, where the college kids get behind it, and they're out playing all the time.
Yeah,
it really is. You're never bored. Put it that way.
No, that's what I love.
So
it's very cool.
So you say you're into music a lot. Are you out there playing? Are you learning, or you?
That's the thing. When I say I love music, I feel a bit guilty because I don't play any music at all. And I feel I've got a good ear. I can understand what good music is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to translating any of that skill or beat or rhythm, no, I save the rhythm for the racetrack.
Fantastic. Are there any drivers on the circuit that you know, you get out, have a few beers, and then it's a bit of a sing along?
I've done karaoke with Jensen actually.
Nice.
He's a good guy. Who else? I think with Matt, with Felipe.
Yeah.
So normally Japan's pretty big in karaoke.
And you can get the words wrong there, they don't even know.
You sound good no matter what. So yeah, a few of us have got out, had a few nights in Tokyo before, which
beautiful,
which turns into karaoke and a bit of sake.
Yeah, and saying that about getting out with the guys, I mean, there's a few drivers in F1 now that you've kind of grown up with as well. Johnny Verne, Maldonado. There's a couple others that kind of your age as well, and you've come through the ranks in exactly the same series.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's in a way it's quite cool. You know, you race with. I mean, when I first moved to Europe, you know, I was racing with some of these guys. Bottas was one of them, and you know, we battled each other when we were 18 years old, and now we're, you know, mid-20s, and here we're sort of at the top of the food chain, which is cool. It's cool that, you know, you see, your rivals, and then when you get to F1, obviously you're still rivals, but it's sort of cool that you both made
of course.
So it's good fun.
Yeah, definitely. Is there any characters left on the F1 circuit, do you think? There's no James Hunts kicking about anymore, is there? Bit of a smoke after the race.
Not that I don't see anyone smoke really, but
who does?
But in terms of, I mean, people do go out and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's one of those things. When I first got into F1, I was, you know, obviously low key. You don't want to be the new kid on the scene, partying and not getting the results. So, let's say I waited till I got the results, and then I started to let my hair down a bit more.
Yeah, of course. Well, when you get the results, you get the you get the results.
Yes. Yes.
Oh no, well that's what you work for, and you know you get the rewards when when you establish yourself as a number one driver.
Yeah.
You know you are the lead driver in the team, and that's and one of the major teams as well, which is always a good thing. How nice was it to see McLaren down the back of the grid this year?
Honestly, not very nice. Like, I think because I respect Jensen and Fernando a lot, and I mean, we would lap him, you know.
Did you wave?
Quite a few races. And no, I was like, I'll just hide my head. Because you know the quality they are, and as drivers as well. And we shouldn't be lapping them like we're.
Oh no, that's exactly right. I mean, the one thing about F1 and McLaren is it does go in circles. So
it will turn around.
Yeah, of course it will
turn around. Obviously, I want to beat them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
It would be nice to that we were all fighting for higher spots up the grid.
You get a couple of months back in Perth now,
or about a month.
About a month off.
Yeah,
and you still have to go and run every day and do the gym work.
No, I get December. I give myself off. Really.
Wow, fantastic.
I think you got to, your body's got to needs time to recover. We travel so much through the year.
Of course.
You're jet lagged. You're knackered basically. So Christmas is just downtime, beach, hanging out with mates, catching up on 11 months worth of stuff.
Fantastic. Oh well, that's coming up soon. Daniel, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. I can't believe we've managed to spend some time with you and lift the lid on.
It's going to cost you.
Well, I can imagine so. So I'll tell Nick Cummins that you're looking for him.
Yep.
And also Tyron Matthew? He also goes by Honey Badger. He plays for the Cardinals. Yes, in the NFL. He's huge though. I know.
I've picked a bad fight. Haven't I?
So he could be called the Skunk. You could do the old Kevin Peterson and get the white stripe. No, don't do that. Yeah. Now, best of luck with everything. Keep fighting to the end. We do wish you all the best, and hopefully, like I say, we will see an Australian world champion before you're finished.
Yep.
And it won't be an enduro cars like that Webber guy. Don't worry about that. Now, top of the tree, Formula One.
Cheers.
See you next time.
365 Days of Sport.